Halloween. Happy Halloween. And welcome back to Screen Preach for episode 32. It's funny how it keeps lining up, too, because, today's Halloween, and I'm doing the filming, and it's, Halloween themed because it's horror and whatever. It almost lined up where we were on episode 31, and it was October 31st, but it didn't line up that way. Right? It is episode 32, right? Shit. Let me check this, because I never get it wrong here. Yes, it is. Okay. Halloween. Yeah. Alright, so, what's going on here? Because, obviously, we got a whole big thing, just elephant in the room here. Okay? Because Mandalorian, right? Here's what I'm going to do. There wasn't a whole lot of news. So I'll go through it quick because there are two big things to talk about for a little longer than quick. So I'll get to those, right? And that's what I've been watching. I've been waiting for that, and I watched it. Not watching a whole lot of stuff right now. I'm just not. I'm working. I'm writing. I'm reading. My entertainment is reading. I'm binging Star Wars, and that's it. I was watching a whole bunch of movies earlier, at the beginning of the fall, all the way through the summer there. I'm just, on a different entertainment binge for my, and that's that. I'm not watching a whole lot of stuff. There's nothing for me to report, really, in that department. Watching comedies before I go to bed, 20 minutes, some episode or something. That's it. Archer, season 11 came to an end. So the news of the week. This week, like I said, not a whole lot. I want to get to the big things. First things first. I'm going to talk about Halloween, the 2018 Halloween film from a couple years ago. On Halloween. And the same week that happens, we get news and a trailer for Halloween Kills, the sequel to the movie I'm going to talk about today. So go check that out. That's news right there. There was a trailer for the next Halloween, which comes out next Halloween. I'll also talk about why they shouldn't be making any more of these fucking movies in a second. But, yeah, there was a trailer. This was just in this morning. Key and Peele, which is hilarious. I love that show. That's a good comedy to watch at the end of the night before you go to bed. Real quick, watch one of those episodes. Where do you find it right now? It's where do I find it? Besides, skits on YouTube. Full episodes of it will now be on... It's coming to HBO Max. Key and Peele is coming to HBO Max. Nice. Also, today, Sean Connery, legendary actor, the first official OG legend James Bond, fucking Oscar winner for The Untouchables, fucking Indiana Jones' father in the third one. This guy is a legend, and he passed away today. 90 years old. Hell of a fucking life. Rest in peace to that legend. Yeah. Also, Moon Knight. I love it. We got more Marvel casting. I don't recall seeing it confirmed, but everyone fucking acts like the first thing they hear is confirmed. So, okay. I'll go with it this week, because it seems like it is. I don't know. Oscar Isaac. From Star Wars, from Ex Machina, from a whole bunch of shit. You know who he is looking to be the guy to play Mark Spector, Moon Knight, in the Disney Plus series coming out in the next couple of years. I don't know exactly when yet. That's cool. I think that's good. I like when they do the unknown casting. Actors you don't know, but sometimes you need that name that you do kind of know, and if it fits, it fits. Mahershala Ali fits Blade, dude. I can see, it's a great casting there. It really is. I see Oscar Isaac playing Moon Knight. It works. So he's basically the MCU's Batman, because that's kind of what Moon Knight's. He's like that style of hero, vigilante, all that. Oscar Isaac. It's looking like it's. I don't know why people think the first thing they hear is confirmed. Fucking Tatiana Maslany didn't even end up being confirmed, and yet it was confirmed by all the big sources and the sources that are usually right, like the big name Hollywood Reporter and Variety and all that stuff. But it ends. I guess it's not confirmed yet. So definitely don't jump to conclusions when it's not confirmed by those sources. It's crazy because this could be totally false. I like the casting if it is true. They also, I think, they already hired an Egyptian filmmaker, because Mohammed Diab is to helm Moon Knight MCU series for Disney Plus. They like to pick a voice and a vision for their projects that are directly in line with the overall cultural connection. Like Black Panther, it was Ryan Coogler. Shang-Chi has an Asian American. Oh, who is it again? Oh yeah, Daniel Destin Creighton. What did he do recently that I liked? He did a good movie that I liked recently. What the fuck was it? Oh yeah, he did Just Mercy. I don't know that it's necessary to be so. Like, just pick the. I'm not saying don't hire these people. I'm just like, it's pick the right person for. Why can't these guys direct a white hero's film or TV show? That's, like, it's weird that they whatever. Egyptian filmmaker was hired for Moon Knight because there's an Egyptian connection to the character of Moon Knight. Even though the character Mark Spector is not Egyptian, I don't remember. Yeah, he's not. He's like Jewish American or whatever. The connection, the Egyptian connection, is not the character. It's the way he gets his power and whatever. Like, whatever. Cool. They hired somebody to take on the show, and they cast somebody to play the character. Dan Harmon teases Rick and Morty Season 5, says it's on track better than any other season. Good. That's cool. More laughs coming our way. Seems that Uncharted officially wrapped production last week. I showed you guys the first image, Tom Holland playing the character. Hey, you gonna hang for the episode? Come hang for the episode. Come on, hang with the episode. Come on. You're talking about hang with the episode. Yeah. Yeah. Uncharted wrapped filming, and now Tom Holland is officially filming Spider-Man 3. He's on set. He got the script. He promises not to spoil anything. Spider-Man 3 movement. Nice. And literally that was it this week for news. There was the biggest news. I gotta talk about it. Assassin's Creed. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw me throw it up. If you've watched the show, you know that I wrote a series for Assassin's Creed. So this news was big. Netflix is acquiring it. They're doing live action show. Here's the thing, okay? I have been saying Assassin's Creed belongs on TV, not in the movie theater. So this is immediately a great move. It's going to be better already because it does belong in long-form storytelling. This will be great. I was both hyped and bummed when I heard this, because I want my show to be made. Naturally. Not that it still can't. They're trying to they're going to be making Assassin's Creed shows consistently over the next however many years. My show could still get made one day. It probably still will, okay? It's just like, when you hear that, it's like, I put all this work in, it's like, and now someone's going to beat me to it. It's like, that happens, though. That's why I totally focus my projects now. I've shifted. I want to just make original things from me. Like, I have original ideas, but there are certain things that are universally known. Like, I have a couple of biopics, historical events, things that other people will want to work on too, because they're not uniquely mine in here. They exist. Assassin's Creed is not mine, so of course they're gonna make it. I'm not surprised. So I'm hyped. I want it to be great. I can't wait to see a show of Assassin's Creed. And the thing is, they're not gonna do what I did. My idea is different. It's unique. They're not gonna do it. So mine's still gonna be the one that's different and fresh. You heard it here first. Just keep it in mind. Like, for instance, I wrote a biopic on John Brown, the abolitionist from the 1850s, right? There's a TV show on Showtime right now, I think Showtime. Go check it out. It's starring Ethan Hawke, and it's literally about John Brown. So it's not like when you write something that's not uniquely yours, it's bound to get made by someone else. I'm not surprised. It was just such a crazy thing to hear all these mixed emotions. I can't even describe it to people who don't know what it's like. You would understand the feeling if you're a writer and you've been there. You know what it's like when something you write is then made, or something similar is made, and it's like, shit, I didn't fucking get to, someone did it first. It's that kind of feeling. You put in work and it feels like it's for nothing. I don't try to think like that anymore. There's always room for your idea. Don't let that discourage you. That was huge. I'm so glad they're making a show. I've been saying it forever. They needed to do this. By the way, literally next Tuesday, not the Tuesday coming up, the following one, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the latest Assassin's Creed game comes out. Can't wait to play it. That's it for the news of the week. We can move on. I just wanted to talk about that, and then I wanted to bring up The Mandalorian. Okay? I watched the first episode of Season 2 last night. I'm not going to spoil anything. This is spoiler-free here, but I just want to mention how great the episode really was because of all the little things that they did and didn't do to keep it uniquely still The Mandalorian, I'm all for having Jedi things kind of pop in, but don't oversaturate this show with Jedi stuff. It's not a show about Jedi. We have other storylines in Star Wars about Jedi. This is about The Mandalorian, right? There's been no Jedi thing yet. I'm just saying that they have to keep that unique in that manner. They have to keep it specifically about this other area of the universe we don't explore enough. And this episode was great because it had all kinds of little things from Star Wars that we don't explore enough, being more detailed, more in-depth, more deeply explored is the way to say that. So it was fucking great. Dude, not only did they confirm something we all kind of suspected, but we get a little nod to what's to come at the very end of the episode. I love when they pull things from the books and comics, put it in live action. We have a character from the books who showed up in the episode, played by a great actor that I mentioned in the past. It was a whole bunch of stuff. The whole in-depth. There's an in-depth look at creatures we vaguely knew about, or Sand People, the Tusken Raiders, and like their whole thing, to explore them a little more deeply. It's also a little more clear what exactly Mando's plan is this season. His mission is to reunite Baby Yoda with his kind, right, Jedi. How he's going about that has become more clear, and how all the rumors all the hype, it's more clear a little bit how these things will play out a little bit. It's gonna be so fun this season. It's already so fucking. It kicked off the season with a bang. Go watch it. It's on Disney Plus now. I don't mind the weekly release of episodes. It doesn't make sense during a fucking pandemic. Binging the season makes more sense during a pandemic. But I like the weekly thing, the weekly structure. It's fine. It makes the season last longer for us. There's more water cooler conversation each week about it. It's better that way sometimes than to just have the whole season at once. Everyone's watching it at different times. So it's the conversation around the show is different when it's like that. So sometimes it's nice to have the weekly release of episodes. So yeah. Let's move on. It is Halloween. We're keeping it all horror themed from here on out the rest of the episode. I'm talking about Halloween from a couple of years ago. Spoilers ahead, of course, for this. I always spoilers with the movies I talk about, but if you haven't seen this yet, it's been 2 years. You should have. It's a right off the bat, I'll say it. It's the best Halloween since the first Halloween, in my opinion. Let's talk about it. I'm realizing that I probably should have talked about Scream this week. Scream's my favorite because Scream is like the horror movie about horror movies. It's satirical. It's equally funny as much as it's scary. It's like the perfect. It's great. Okay, it's just. I was watching it. I watched it the other day. I watch it every Halloween. Watch Scream, and I try to watch one of the Halloweens. I watched this one. But I never noticed how fucking Wes Craven, who did A Nightmare on Elm Street, he did Scream. He shows up, and he's wearing Freddy Krueger's clothes. He plays the janitor in Scream. I don't know why I never caught that before. He's wearing, and his name is Fred. It's like a nod to A Nightmare on Elm Street in Scream. That movie is so. I love that. The first Scream is the only one worth rewatching, really. Whatever, let's talk about this one. He's waited for this night. He's waited for me, and I've waited for him. We all waited for a proper sequel, too, didn't we? For Halloween. We didn't realize how much we needed this movie until it came out. That's how I feel about it. It's that kind of surprising movie that was better than you thought it was going to be kind of thing, sequel, whatever. The reason the structure of this film is very well done is because it tries to take on a similar approach to the original. So, right off the bat, much like the original, it starts in a similar way. You have like a mental hospital scene, right? There's a breakout from the mental institution, just like in the original. Michael himself has been locked up for the past 40 years. Even the characters are meant to kind of parallel, like they have paralleling archetypes. So like we get the doctor character, we get the Loomis archetype in a new doctor character. But what was great was that it was fresh and unique in its own ways. There was a twist with the doctor at a certain point in the film where it turns out he's not trying to stop Michael, but instead the opposite of that, which was a nice twist. In a lot of ways, Laurie is the new Loomis. She's like the tough, like, take on Michael character. But she's still Laurie, she's still Laurie. She's still the hero. Her granddaughter is the innocent presence, like, that mirrors her own from 40 years before. Like, she's the new Laurie from the young girl, like being chased by Michael kind of thing, like, and it was. I thought it was important for the writers who were. They're comedic writers and directors doing this movie. By the way, I often think the best comedic minds, which in this case David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, they have an eye for horror. They have an eye for horror. A lot of the best comedians, because they have like these. They have dark thoughts. It comes with the territory of being a comedian. You tell really, you can tell some pretty intense jokes. You have a mind for horror as much as you do comedy. I think. I don't know. I've always thought that. Gordon Green directed fucking Pineapple Express. He directed this. I think there's a connection. I don't know exactly what it is. But I thought it was important for them to be both, to pay, to tribute to the original in all the best ways it could, but also be unique and fresh and different which they do. I think they do both those things pretty balanced. What makes the film work best is the way Laurie and Michael are bound together. I think that was the best thing about it. They're like two. It's like when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force kind of thing. They're like meant inevitable. Like they're supposed to fucking collide. You know, it's like been building for years to an inevitable confrontation between them that they've both been waiting for. At one point, she says, "I prayed for years and years and years that he would escape." Why would you pray for that? So that I could kill him. What makes the story work is by making the best decision they could have made. They eliminated all prior sequels. So this never would have worked if they were picking up after all that other stuff. There were like 6 sequels after the first one, and they made a smart decision here to kind of to eliminate those from the canon, from the story here. There's the first one and there's this one. That's what they did when they approached this film. Smart decision. That allows for better storytelling right off the fucking bat. Then again, like I said before, there was a trailer for the new one. They're they risk fucking all that up again by making 2 more. They want to make 2 more. That you don't need to make any more. This is the perfect way to end Halloween movies. Not Halloween the holiday, Halloween the franchise. I don't know. I don't think they need to make more. They are. We'll see how they are. At least this one's good, though, if those suck. And you can decide not to watch them, finish. You just watch these 2, and the original and this one, it's nice to have 2 good ones. Laurie, she has real agency in this one. Obviously, it makes sense to do that. You don't want her to still be. She's gone through it. She's at 40 years. She's grown. She's allowed this to control her life. She's traumatized from the events of the first one, but she takes that energy. She uses it to take control here and really fight back against the evil that she is destined to face. She's not the scared, innocent, typical horror movie heroine anymore. She's a legit hero, and there's a lot of badass moments from her character in this one. That's why it's so fun. She is a badass in this movie. Playing with the elements of the original were key here, paying homage, an homage to things. Like, for instance, in the credits, Michael is titled as the Sheep, just like in the original, not as Michael Myers. The idea of having Michael and Laurie be like 2 forces destined to collide, I already mentioned that. That allowed for a great performance from Jamie Lee Curtis. She had a great performance in this movie. For a horror movie, it's like a really great performance from Jamie Lee. The idea of having Michael... I said that already. There's also a literal on-screen moment where characters omit the previous sequels and storylines. So like I said, they omit any other sequels. And in the movie, there's a moment where they do that. They're walking, and granddaughter, shit, I'm blanking on her name right now. She's walking with her friends. Her friends say, "Didn't her brother kill a bunch of people or something?" And she says, "That's just something people make. That's just something people made up." And literally, the people who made that up were other filmmakers of previous sequels. Like, they're omitting things like that. Like, they're not related. They're not. There was a storyline where they're related, like they're brother and sister secretly or something. That's not a thing here. Like, they are not related. There's no connection to them in that way. Overall, this film manages to live up to the spirit of Halloween. Michael Myers feels like an essence of evil, transcending humanity and becoming something else as he coasts from place to place, leaving nothing behind but death and destruction and violence and blood. It was important that Michael feel like something more than a serial killer. That was always the point of Michael Myers. Him being a serial killer isn't what makes him scary. It's the supernatural element to his character, as if he's something else. The way he's always surviving things, the way he's always, impenetrable, impossible to stop. He just keeps coming, like some evil force. The characters refer to him in such a way, too, in the film, even calling him a thing or something, instead of saying him or Michael. They literally call him a thing because of the way he carries his presence comes off that way. A great Halloween movie. Great Halloween movie. Great Halloween movie to watch this time of year. If you haven't seen it, you definitely need to see it. Watch the first one. Watch the original Halloween and then watch this one. There's no other way to do this anymore, I don't think. Just those two are all you need. There are a lot of great Halloween movies to check out. It's Halloween today. I know when this comes out, it won't be Halloween. It'll be 1 or 2 days after Halloween, but it'll still be fun. People will still be in the Halloween spirit a little bit, I guess. Watch A Nightmare on Elm Street. Watch Scream. Watch The Exorcist. Watch horror movies. Get in the spirit. My 2 favorite moments in the movie, I should mention. You have to get creative with the killings, and I thought the spotlight motion sensor killing was the best one in this movie. I remember in the theater it actually scared me. Also made me laugh a little bit because of the way that the kid in the scene who gets killed is reacting to it. Was just kind of funny. That's where the comedic elements come in, like with the writers have they have a way with both comedy and horror. I think that's those you can't help but laugh at things in horror movies sometimes. Those are sometimes the best horror movies. To further signify Laurie's sort of ascendance to the level of Michael, she does something in the film that Michael always used to do in any Halloween movie you ever watch. He'd do this thing where he would like disappear, like he's there 1 second and then he's gone. She turns it around on him in this one. There's a moment in the film where he throws her over the balcony and she's lying on the ground like unconscious or whatever. He looks away for a second. He looks back. She's gone. She pulls it on him. I thought that was fire storytelling. To have it like she's at his level. She's doing that shit to him. And that from that point too, in the climax on, that was like a turning point. She takes over the scene. She beats him. It's great. If people don't like this one, like I don't get it. Omit the other ones from your memory and watch this one. Watch the original. Watch this one. What's your problem with this one? There are people who didn't like this one. Why? Anyway, whatever. My rating of this movie is an 8.4 out of 10. Good movie. Like I said, all Halloween themed today, horror and whatnot. Let's do our fun fact of the week. For the latest adaptation of Stephen King's It from 2017, did you know that the Duffer Brothers attempted to direct the film, but were passed on by producers and executives because they were lesser known and quote-unquote unestablished? They, of course, went on to create Stranger Things, a series that pays homage to Stephen King time and time again, and has proven to be one of the best shows on television. Also, there's a connection between It and Stranger Things. Finn Wolfhard, who plays Mike in Stranger Things, also plays Richie Tozier in It. That's a quicker fun fact of the week, but it's a nice fun fact of the week, isn't it? Our question of the week, following up on last week. And look at that, it involved Pineapple Express. And David Gordon Green, who directed Halloween, directed Pineapple Express. I asked, what is the best stoner film of all time? I picked Pineapple Express. But it's funny to me what people picked. I wasn't surprised by number 1. The Big Lebowski makes sense. Number 2 made sense. Dazed and Confused. But I was surprised that like Cheech and Chong films weren't higher up. Up in Smoke was number 6 on the list. And then there was a movie, fucking The Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, that was like number 4. I don't even know. I haven't seen that movie. I don't know that movie. I'm sorry for people who've seen it. I don't know the movie. Yeah, the list though made sense. You got Big Lebowski, Dazed and Confused, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Ted was number 3. Ted was number 3. I guess that's a stoner movie, so that makes sense. It just was a little surprising to see that. That was number 3. Pineapple Express was number 5? Yeah. I don't know. I just thought Pineapple Express would be higher. This week, obviously, all horror, all Halloween, so let's make it simple. What is the greatest horror movie ever made? I'm going to pick The Exorcist. Most people probably will. If not, they're probably saying The Shining. But that's the question. What do you think is the greatest horror movie? What's the greatest horror movie you've ever seen? You know? You can answer these questions, by the way. Go on, YouTube, watch the episode, and then comment what, I'm asking you. Same thing with what are you watching this week? Let me know. Get a conversation going. That's what we're doing here. Movie quote of the week. Remember, all horror. Breasts? Not until Trading Places in 83. Jamie Lee always played the virgin in horror movies. She never showed her tits till she went legit. That's why she always outsmarted the killer in the big chase scene at the end. Only virgins can do that. Don't you know the rules? What rules? You don't know the... Jesus Christ, you don't know the rules? There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie. For instance, number 1, you can never have sex. Big no. Big no. Sex equals death. Okay? Number 2, you can never drink or do drugs. It's the sin factor. It's a sin. It's an extension of number 1. And number 3, never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back. Hey, I'm going to the beer. I'm going to get another beer. You want one? Yeah, sure. I'll be right back. You see? You push the laws, and you end up dead. Okay, I'll see you in the kitchen with a knife. Is it not? Is it not obvious? Come on, name the movie. You know what it's from. I even brought it up. I don't know. What do we... This episode, I don't know. Today. I guess I was feeling the Halloween spirit yesterday and all week. I'm not feeling it today. And today's Halloween. I'm not going to anything. I don't know. Whatever. We're done. This is the episode. Real quick, this week on Caught My Attention, I saw something interesting. Actually, my dad mentioned it to me. It's just something interesting. Something interesting that happened with the New York Mets. A long time coming. They got new ownership. And their owner is now the richest owner in baseball. What this means is real New York money, real spending on a team, like how the Yankees spend. The Mets might actually be a real fucking New York team again. They can actually spend the money, build a team, and win a championship, maybe? If you didn't know, their previous owner was fucked over by the Bernie Madoff scandal, and he was not really that wealthy anymore. And it cost the Mets really being able to, I don't know, just, this is good news, I think, for the Mets. Yeah. Follow the show at Screen Preach. Follow me personally at the Ben Morganti. Check out my website, benmorgantistory.com. Yeah. Subscribe to BMS Studios on YouTube. Support the show at patreon.com. And I'll be right back. It's a scream, baby. have a horror-filled cinematic week. I guess. Or don't, because Halloween's actually over now. This episode should have came out last week, right? Then it would have been on episode 31. I don't know, but then, like, I wouldn't be recording on Halloween Day like this. This is, so, yeah.